What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and it is deal time. Senator Joe Manchin is back to the negotiating table. We're going to be seeing if they're able to put together a revised Build Back Better bill for stimulus reconciliation. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, we'll see what provisions they're able to agree upon. Also, we've heard stimulus checks, proposals for fourth federal level checks to all is back on the table. We're waiting to see if executive orders and actions come out from the president, and we're hearing that this is going to be happening here very soon as we approach these midterm elections. And also, not to mention the fact that it's just needed with everything going on right now. We've got a pandemic with a new wave that's hitting with the Omicron stealth. We have a war with Russia and Ukraine that's causing supply chain issues with food and oil and gas, lockdowns in China, which are exasperating those supply chain issues, and just a whole lot going on. And here in our economy, we're feeling the impacts of 40-year high inflation and record high gas and food prices. And I've got some video footage you're not going to want to miss as we're hearing it doesn't look like it's going to be getting better here anytime soon. We're hearing that there's only about 10 weeks left until the world supply of grain is no more. And we're hearing that there's literally going to be hundreds of millions of people facing starvation. This is not good. And also, we're hearing that the grain that is stored in Ukraine that can't be accessed to help feed the world, it's actually being stolen and destroyed by Russia. I'm going to share with you the video footage to get you caught up on the latest. Let's go ahead and dive right in. But before we do, also wanted to mention, consider checking out the videos yesterday, getting you caught up on state, city, and county checks. Some of them are only available for a limited time, free money for you to access. And we're hearing about 90% of the people that are eligible aren't getting it because they don't know it exists. They're not applying. They're not watching the videos and finding out what's available to them. So check those out. And also, if you appreciate these updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on, don't forget to take a quick second, smash the like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. Share this out if you think it could help out other people. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, come join the Ram fam. Totally free. Why not? I'll let you know everything going on. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive in, and let's start off with the video footage of what's going on right now in Ukraine, the issues with the grain, potential starvation, and how we might need some more assistance here very soon.
Even if Vladimir Putin's war on Ukraine ended tomorrow, the entire world still would face a rampant hunger crisis. As CNN's Kylie Atwood reports, the U.S. and others are sounding urgent alarms about how Russian forces are interfering with food shipments that keep hundreds of millions of people across the globe from starving.
Grain held hostage because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine is deepening the global food crisis.
When a nation that is the breadbasket of the world becomes a nation with the longest bread lines of the world, we know we have a problem.
Before the Ukraine war began, the country was the world's fourth largest exporter of corn and the fifth largest exporter of wheat. Now those agricultural products cannot get out of Ukraine's ports because of Russia's blockade, leaving dozens of countries desperate. David Beasley, the executive director of the World Food Program, said there are currently at least 323 million people around the world heading towards starvation.
Truly, failure to open those ports in Odessa region will be a declaration of war on global food security, and it will result in famine and destabilization and mass migration around the world.
The Biden administration is ramping up its focus on this deadly crisis as global food prices are spiking. Secretary of State Tony Blinken convened a United Nations Security Council meeting on the topic today, calling for a coordinated international response.
There are an estimated 22 million tons of grain sitting in silos in Ukraine right now.
And demanding that Russia open the ports and allow trucks with food to leave the country.
The Russian Federation claims falsely that the international community's sanctions are to blame for worsening the global food crisis. Sanctions aren't blocking Black Sea ports, trapping ships filled with food, and destroying Ukrainian roads and railways. Russia is.
Footage obtained by CNN from Melitopol, Zaporizhia, allows us to see what President Zelensky's administration is calling food terrorism. Trucks bearing the white Z symbol of the Russian military stealing Ukrainian grain, bringing it to Russian-held Crimea.
This is not just a strike at Ukraine. Without our agrarian exports, dozens of countries in various regions of the world have found themselves on the brink of food deficit.
Russia is also carrying out strikes specifically targeting agricultural warehouses in the country.
We're seeing attacks on everything from fields with craters in them. There are reports of Russian soldiers putting landmines in fields, destroying farm equipment.
As the world presses for an end to Russia's invasion, experts warn that even if the conflict did end soon, it would take years for Ukraine's agricultural industry to recover.
The world is on the brink of mass hunger.
Now, Jake, the Biden administration is working closely with European allies to develop alternate routes to get this grain out of Ukraine if those ports are not open, which, of course, Russia has given no indication that they will allow them to open. And one of the leading options here is putting this grain onto trains and transferring the grain from Ukraine to the neighboring European countries. But, of course, there are a lot of logistical and technological challenges that have come along with that.
So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, as more develops on the food supply shortage that's happening due to the war in Russia and Ukraine, I'll be sure to let you know here on the channel. Now, let's talk about the negotiations taking place for a new deal on stimulus, reconciliation, a revised Build Back Better bill. As we're hearing that yesterday, Senator Joe Manchin came out and said that they are back to the table to discuss further reconciliation bills. And as you know, they literally need every single Democratic senator on board to pass this through with a majority vote. The president called them 50 presidents that they have to get to agree. And right now, Joe Manchin is the one that's saying he's very concerned about passing any more spending that could add to the deficit and cause even further inflation. So unless it's fully paid for and feels justified by Senator Joe Manchin, they're not going to be passing it through. However, we did hear from him yesterday that progress is being made in this midterm election year. Take a look, you guys. The link in the description below just came out yesterday from Axios. Manchin is serious about Schumer's talks. Senator Joe Manchin told Axios on Thursday yesterday that he's earnestly engaged in talks with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer over a climate, energy, and deficit reduction package, reviving hopes for action this year. Even a slimmed-down version of President Biden's Build Back Better package looked dead. But comments by Manchin, along with tempered optimism from Democrats, suggest that a Biden win on the Hill in this midterm election year that has gone from unlikely to now possible. We're hearing that talks are underway. Biden's stuck right now around 40% popularity, and he needs Senator Joe Manchin to revive his agenda. Manchin told Axios that it's possible the latest talks still could die. But as Manchin and Schumer try to repair a strained relationship, their staffs have been making progress on the contours of a climate and deficit reduction package, according to people familiar with the matter. Manchin called those preliminary talks respectful and encouraging to a certain extent. There could be nothing, Manchin told us in an interview. There could truly be nothing. That's all I can tell you. Now, Chuck has a very, very difficult job, Manchin added. The trust that I have is his ability to be able to move 48 or 49 other people, mentioning those others in the Senate. Now, Manchin noted that he has not engaged directly with the president so far. Manchin this week told the bipartisan group of senators with whom he's been negotiating over a climate and energy security bill that he is prepared to back tax increases in a Democrat-only bill if the bipartisan group can't agree to additional revenue. So if they can't get a bipartisan agreement, which they're aiming for, he is willing to get on board with reconciliation. Manchin told Axios that he understands why some Republican senators might conclude that a Democrat-only reconciliation package is his ace in the hole, giving him more leverage in bipartisan talks. That left some senators thinking that Manchin may be closer to a deal with Schumer than they suspected, and that he can jump tracks if he reaches an agreement. So, sounds like Senator Joe Manchin has positioned himself very well to get something done that he agrees with. He's got bipartisan talks taking place, and also they're saying that he's got talks going on with Democrats for a reconciliation bill. So it sounds like hopefully something here is going to be getting done, and we'll see. And as soon as it comes out, I'll be sure to let you know. Now, also, if you missed my video yesterday on unemployment, you might want to check it out, as we're hearing that those federal benefits, the lawsuit that's going in Ohio right now, is coming back. And those that missed out on benefits, 10 weeks of $300 payments, that might be coming your way, which would equate to $3,000 of back pay for missed federal unemployment benefits. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date as that develops as well. But you guys, a lot going on. I'll be sure to keep you up to date on stimulus checks, stimulus packages, provisions, everything happening, so you know the latest. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free, come join the Ram fam. Why not? All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance. And with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.